Hey, welcome back to the Joy and Resilience podcast. Today, we're going to cover the topic of the pressure to hold it all together. So it's the Joy and Resilience practice helping you thrive one story at a time. Rooted in joy, rising in resilience. I'm Mike Cameron. Today's conversation is for the people who are often the ones everyone else relies on. The helpers, the caregivers, the educators, the leaders, the parents, the community builders. The people everyone says, I knew you'd know what to do. And while that can feel like a compliment, it can also become a really heavy thing to carry because sometimes the strongest person in the room is also the most exhausted. Many of us become so good at carrying things that people start asking if we're okay. No, they don't start. They stop asking. That's where Sarah. They stop asking if we're okay. Sometimes we even stop asking ourselves. If you've ever answered, I'm fine, while mentally organizing 12 other people's schedules, this episode is definitely for you. Today, we're talking about the invisible pressure of holding everything together, why we do it, what it costs, and how resilience isn't about carrying more. It's about knowing when it's okay to put something down. Let's get into it. Today, I'm joined by Sarah MacDonald, someone who understands what it means to carry responsibility while trying to care for yourself at the same time. Together, we're exploring why so many helpers feel responsible for everyone, except themselves. So Sarah, how are you doing?
I'm so happy to see you.
I'm so glad you came on the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
So before we get into this, Sarah, do you want to introduce yourself a little bit and tell us a little bit about what you do and etc.? I know you do lots.
Well, I think in this context, it might be important to know that I've had my own poor mental health journey. Some of us have good mental health journeys, and I've developed my career based on my path and what I need to learn best. And so I'm 6 years without alcohol, and it's not thank you. It's not, it's probably I show up better in the world now than I did before, and that's what I take forward. Yeah. So in mental wellness, I'm probably more well than I ever have been. But I've also replaced some of my addictions with good things, better things, and then exhaustion comes with that.
Comes with that.
Hilarious that this is what we're talking about.
I figured this was a good topic to chat with you about. What organizations are you currently working with, and what are you up to that way, Sarah?
Okay, well, when I started working with Canadian Mental Health Association, and I really loved the work, which led me to then Feed Nova Scotia, and now we have the Farm to Feast Cafe Association.
Lovely group, yes.
So we are the Farm Cafe, and we've developed a nonprofit to respond to community need. And so Soup has been the project I've worked on the longest, sharing our ugly, unappreciated, undervalued produce. And
still nutrient filled.
Still full of nutrients. Because might be ugly produce has more nutrients. Do you know that?
Yes. I've learned that from you.
Wow. It's just like us. Those of us that have gone through more things, we've had to grow through the drought and succeed and keep going, means that we have more nutrients packed in us. Right. We're more dense.
Yeah. And the other thing I'll add before we move along in the conversation is I know you are a connector and you are also a navigator too. I know there's a part of your skill sets that we know it. I work at the resource center. We know that if we send out the bat signal, hey, Sarah, what can you help with this? You usually are able of how do we not that happens Valley. Right.
Food, because it's wasted on field, and that's one part of it. It's sometimes not grown here, which is the part that we're talking about mostly these days around how do we get local POs, purchase orders, to grow food so we can have local farmers growing local food for our communities.
Right, and help with those issues, right?
This is exactly it. And nobody can make a good decision on an empty belly. So the first thing we have to do before anything is make sure we're full, that we can have a bandwidth to work with and go from there.
And make sure we're sharing.
And the sharing piece, I keep forgetting that, but the sharing piece is also the relationship piece. I couldn't share it if I didn't have a relationship with you.
Right.
I couldn't call on you for my dispatch needs.
Yes.
if we didn't already have a good foundation.
Right. And that network and those building things. And it kind of leads into what happens with those that are in helping roles. Because we know that you can be incredibly capable and still need support.
I still have an AA group.
There
we still have supports that we need to be able to keep going. And I didn't think that was an avenue that I was going to need. In mental health. We suggested these are the supports you need. But we all need support. So, and those of us that take on more challenges because of our mental health issues need more support, because we're out on a bit of a limb sometimes. So, helpers need help.
Helpers need help, yes.
And that we have a Hartner group, and that makes me feel really kindred when I think about, if I have an issue with a tent or I have an issue with someone, I can call. And so that relationship is really the...
Yeah, I think I mentioned this on the first episode with Sue. We talked about building those networks. Well, even amongst, how did I get really connect to you guys? Well, I was looking for a space. I literally came down to the space, and then it became a food discussion because I was talking to Jessica, and what did we finally do? We got a roundtable discussion. We went to a food, then the group got bigger. And out of that, we've got our little Hartner text group, because I just, once a week I'll throw something in hey, what do you girls think about this? What about this? And you're like, yes, let's do it. I'm busy here, but let's do it here. And I always know that someone has something to help move it along. Not that they necessarily do it, but they'll say, Mike, why don't we combine our efforts?
Do what we're good at and show up. It's like the ecosystem. So my brain always goes back to the plant, and we are nothing but ecosystems between us and with the natural world. So
I totally agree.
Us learning that heartbeat and how each of us are operating in the world also helps how we show up. I know I have a support network. That allows me to help others who don't have one, because mine is kick-ass, to be truthful.
Yeah, I like that. So here's a question. Why do helpers often carry more than they should, Sarah?
That's a very difficult, because it is sometimes, for me, it's wrapped up in my mental health. And so my value sometimes comes forward with what I can do for the world, which that's where we work on ourselves. Right. But I know if I feel like I can't sleep that night, if I didn't do the thing, then I have to do it.
Yeah.
I can, like you said, put it down. I can put it down if I know that I'm going to be able to sleep, regardless of if I get it done or not.
Right. Yes.
So that's how I've learned to decipher between some of the work we do, but it's still a very difficult line to cross around.
It's a lot
work
to carry,
and fun and passion and life. It's all the same.
So where do you think your the sense of responsibility comes from?
I have no clue.
You don't have any clue.
If we could ask, I don't know. If people have said the third eye.
Yes.
I guess I don't know. It's the invisible thing that just makes me move forward.
Was there something growing up that came with responsibility, or
being
the opposite?
The oldest daughter.
Oldest, okay.
The oldest daughter.
I can relate. I was the oldest too.
And I think that sets us up for a certain helping. So the house was the extra things around the house got
you
and
started it.
Found myself. I can't unknow them. Stuck in my mind, and we have a story, and we have a person or a situation. You don't stop until that's fixed, or we have partners around the table that can keep working on it so you don't feel alone, which is one of the...
Yeah, let's define what's a Hartner. Because I know that term came up here, and I had mentioned it in a post on Rewind, and Darren had said something about it. Then I realized, maybe it's just a colloquial thing amongst a few of us. So maybe, share, what do you think a Hartner is? What's our sort of definition of a Hartner?
Well, as we build partnership and advocacy group and all of that, I don't meet someone for no reason. And so sometimes you meet someone, you're like, yeah, okay, it's great to meet you. You're a lovely human. And then you meet someone and you're like, oh, this is not as a partnership. This is a heartnership. As we move forward, we don't, we have core values that are the same.
Okay.
And, we kind of thread ourselves with that, I think.
I like that. Threading.
And threading means that's what helps us build strong network and helps us, as me sometimes mentally unwell, become well, because I know I'm not alone.
Right. Yeah. And I find too, when we have partners around, that there's a certain positive, joyful energy that comes, and because if you put us in in the big space in the other side of the building here, it will be very noisy and there'll be lots of conversation. And many times I know with our meetings, we've had 3 conversations bust off on the side. Like, okay, let's bring it back. But people get so energized because someone wants to help either be your cheerleader or hear you out, is what I'm hearing you say, to hear it out and say, Sarah, I've got someone else, or you know what, let me take that part. Let me combine with you. So thanks for doing that.
Well, thanks for, being one of the partners that we can connect with and keep moving forward with. And I used to sell cars and I run into the same people. Those are part of my partner group. It doesn't matter where we come from or where our relationship started. We build them and then they stay strong, and it's based on that core
And we keep
belief.
finding stuff to work on. Well, there's always stuff to work on.
There's always stuff
There's
to work
always
on.
stuff. So here's another one. You ready for this one?
No.
You're not ready. Okay. I'm asking anyway. Why is it so hard to ask for help? Why do people find that so difficult at times? And me included. I've had to learn this.
Well,
why do you think it is?
I think there's a societal feeling and norm that you're supposed to be independent and do it on your own.
Right.
You're supposed to do it on your own. You're supposed to be a big girl, and you're supposed to be, when you become an adult and
no crying.
No, you got this. And so there's a part of that says, I don't need to reach out. They've got their own stuff. I don't need to bug them. I can do this. So then we do create. As somebody that does frontline support, and so that.
And it's the piece too that take training too. And it can be very easy to get in I facilitate something, I go do this, and forget yourself. We need some boundaries. There is 24 hours in the day, but for a couple hours a day, you got to be off duty to charge so you can be there. And I know, you're nodding. I know you're you can picture 15 examples for me probably.
But boundary's the good word.
Yes.
The boundary, the reset, because we can't do the work outward if we're not doing the work inward. And that even comes to the last 6 years. I couldn't have done the work I'm doing now had I not done that work earlier, to say that something needed to shift in my life to make it thrive and not just survive.
Great word. Look at you with a tag. I like that. Good one. Okay. What does healthy leadership actually look like, Sarah? What would you say?
Trusting in others.
Trust. Okay.
That we're all showing up and doing the best we can do. Because leadership isn't about me leading and you guys following. That's not how I feel. It's about empowering and bringing out all the skill set that others have around them so that they can, because they're going to show up in their own life as leaders. And it may be a leader of 1, it may be a leader of 5, but today, we're all just learning skills, and a leader is meant to empower the people around them.
Empowerment, and I heard trust.
Yeah, you got to trust it. Yeah.
Okay. So, how can we let people support us? If people find it hard, what have you learned? How do you let other people support you? What's the difference maybe? Maybe is there a difference from 6 years ago to now that you would say 6 years ago, I wouldn't do that, but now people either know, or what would you say?
Ask me the question one more time.
Sure.
Yeah.
How can we let people support us?
It's learning that you're enough, and that is not easy. That is a struggle, because then when you know you're enough, it's okay.
Yeah.
But it's not otherwise.
Right. Do you have people that know? Do they know, oh, hold on. Do you have people now that can say, hey, Sarah?
Yes, we do. We build that. And like I said, I feel like I can do what I can do because I feel super supported. And so, I have the friends that ask questions because I generally just move and they'll ask, are you okay? What? Who said that? I don't hear you. But allowing us to stop. But I've put those people, I've been lucky enough to build the relationships and have them know me, because I can move through a lot of days without talking to anyone about my feelings or, And sometimes I think that they don't really matter.
So with you saying that, because I can relate to that too, and sometimes we need isolation and solitude, is there something you recognize? If someone doesn't say, hey, Sarah, are you okay? Are there things that you actually like after 3 days, like, Is there something for you? What would that look like?
Well, I generally tend to go inward quite frequently. That's, I learned the word introvert, extrovert. I thought I was always an extrovert, but I'm actually both. And I need the both. That's the balance. But I can spend a lot of time inside my own head. And so taking the time to reach out and letting people in. I know it seems... Of course, I talk to everybody, but letting people in is a different concept for me. And, answering a question about how I feel, I may not do.
Yes.
So Right,
because you're walking by somebody or walking in, you may say, how are you? And most people know that's a greeting.
Yeah.
But there are people that you walk in, you say that to, and you may get the response like, oh, I didn't mean that. Not in that way. I'm not trying to be mean, but when you walk in, you want to acknowledge somebody.
Yeah.
But if it was a partner that came to you and said that, I'm hearing you talk about safe space with another.
Absolutely.
A safe space.
Well, I think that's what we all work to give around us. So we need it for ourselves. And sometimes that's allowing us to open up our heart to do that. And sometimes it's just putting the people around us that can support it and trust you in that.
Yeah. I agree.
Is that right or wrong? Did I answer that right or wrong, Mike?
There's no right or wrong. It's what we're interpreting. I think it's good. I think it's really good. I'm going to give a little reflection here since we've gone through. So let's see what you think. Maybe resilience isn't about proving how much you can carry. Maybe resilience is learning what was never yours to carry in the first place. Carry compassion, carry purpose, carry hope. But don't carry every problem, every expectation, every responsibility by yourself. Because resilience grows stronger when it is shared.
That's beautiful.
I think that's kind of what we've been talking about.
It is.
Partners that, you're not trying to do it by yourself. And we do need to share things. Maybe not everything, but some.
But the things that help.
Yes.
If we think about a food forest, and I keep trying to perennialize our community gardens and our food systems so that we can talk more holistically like this, but it's exactly, if the trees aren't healthy and we can't prune them so that they can send knowledge and nutrients back into the ground to feed the next plant that needs to grow up in succession. We're all helping each other. It may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, but I think that's the beautiful part about why you're having this podcast, why you've opened up this space of conversation. So thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And I've wanted to do, it's the gentleman here to the right that actually helped bring that along. I'm bringing Alex into another thing. He's like, again, Mike.
It's because he's so special.
But Alex also has that passion, and it's because of Julianne. So he's one of those connector things of here I had an idea, she knew Alex, and she sort of made it happen. And now I'm like, yes, this is something I want to do as part of honoring my dad and those that I've lost over the past few years. And where I'm at, you said a journey, myself too. Going through that, let's talk about some of this stuff. And how about we change the conversation? Because we know, I don't want to be political. We know there are people out there that are on a certain path that really is not about kindness. So we need to be talking about that more. And you said a great phrase. You're good enough. I'm showing up in front of you. This is who I am right now at the moment. And just respect that, whoever the person is. Even if you're hungry on the road, like if I have a bottle of water, that's something I can do right then. It doesn't solve the whole thing, but it gives that person, someone else cares enough to at least give me some water. Like you're worth that much.
You see them.
It's
the currency of kindness.
Yeah, the currency of kindness. That should be an episode.
Well, let's do that, because I think that's what we need to share at our schools. That's what we need to be sharing on, our news stations. Those that we may not agree with a statement or an argument, we have to all kind of see that we're in a mental health crisis around the world.
Yeah, around the world.
And it's around food, it's around access, it's around housing, and it's around the world.
It's around the world, yeah.
This is a safe space that can be a place to start talking about that and supporting each other. But the kindness is the currency we need to keep exchanging.
And we go back to sort of the topic of we do need to be kind for ourselves, because if we don't do that, it is that cliche. How do you pour from a broken cup? I don't know.
Well, it's like, you'll talk really bad about yourself to yourself, but you wouldn't say that about someone else. So,
right.
Giving yourself the grace and kindness of,
good word.
I can't show up like that today, or I need to shut the curtains today. That's grace, and be kind to yourself, because
I like that. Thanks
we
for saying that,
extend
Sarah. Yeah.
kindness to everyone else, or try to. I'm not always kind.
And I like that point too, that kindness and that grace. And that doesn't mean people don't make mistakes, or you're not going to be annoyed with somebody else at some point. Like, that's being human. And when you're saying grace, I often use the phrase space and grace. Like, give me the iota of space of doubt instead of thinking what I was doing is malintent. Like,
right.
Maybe I'm just not hearing you, didn't comprehend. And how much is about communication, that we miscommunicate all the time.
So we need to build relationships on kindness and learn to communicate so that we can attack and work on a challenge any problem that we see in our community.
Yep. I like it. I'm so glad you brought up the word grace. Thank you. So, Sarah, here at the Joy and Resilience Practice Podcast with Alex and I, we always have 7 questions for our guest. Are you ready for some 7 questions?
Okay.
I don't know if you did your homework.
I don't ever answer a question shortly, so I'm sorry. Let's go. 1.
Well, some guests are like, well, I listened to the other podcasts. Some didn't. I'm okay with whatever. I just want Sarah to be Sarah. So here we go. As we continue season 2, let's come back to the questions that ground every conversation. So Sarah, here's your first one. What's one small moment of joy that's been grounding you lately?
My early morning walk with a dog.
Oh, with the dogs. Oh, yeah. You're an outdoor person. I know you like to get outdoors, which is so great.
Yeah, and it's part of my mental trickery.
Yes.
I can't take away bad habits. I have to add new good habits, and we've almost turned a year and a half on this walking every morning.
Every morning.
Every morning. So, the joy comes when I see the beavers, and they're heading out with their little pockets of treats for their babies, and when I see the foxes running in the den. Not so much the skunks. I try to time my walks around them. Yeah. But everybody.
Or you hold your nose.
Everybody is part of that's my morning sanctuary, I guess. It's the time I get to. So
you're spending time with yourself and being kind.
No phone.
Oh, even no phone. Oh, no, even a step further.
Which is not good for my walking, my trying to get my steps in, but the no phone is so that I can be in the moment.
And be present.
Yeah, I'd love to have that picture, but I'm going to take a picture in my mind.
Good. That's great.
Yeah. Thank you.
Hey, question 1, great answer. Question 2, when you think about resilience, what's a moment you're really proud of, Sarah?
6 years ago.
6 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I decided I wanted to show up different in the world.
Showing up differently.
And I really wanted to be, I want to be the person I want my kids to be. And that is not easy.
Yeah.
I want you to be better than me, but I'm not going to. So it's, the trying every day. Every day is a chance to try to be a better human. And that's really all I can ask my kids to be. So.
Yeah, so you're using that as part of your resilience. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Number 3, and I think you might have touched on this, but maybe there's some more to this. What does it look like for you to recharge when your capacity feels low? And I know you mentioned walking with the dog. Are there other things that you have implemented?
Yeah, I paint, I sketch, I play guitar. It's all the things that I have to do with all my brain, physical body.
And the hands, right?
And the hands. That takes my mind a minute to be away. But I have a really hard time shutting my mind off if I don't. So I have to do those. I don't meditate well, but I can sketch.
Oh, there you go. That's what I was going to ask. So is there one you pick over the other, or is it could be all of them in one day, or?
It just depends on the situation. I know when I worked for the mental health, every night I came home and sketched. And so every night I had to process. It was like I I couldn't get through it if I didn't.
You were working it out.
Yeah, because you were coming across so many hard things,
right.
and I wasn't able to process them in terms of physically or mentally. So,
right, working on your empathy part of
right.
like, I don't want to. Yes.
Yeah.
What's mine? What's yours? Yeah.
So sometimes I do them all. Sometimes I do none of them, which is when the days have gone by that I haven't touched any of that. I know I need to stop and take my time.
It's some of your tools that you go to.
Right.
Enjoyment. It sounds like enjoyment.
And the other
passion.
tool, I must say, is not really. It's the 1, 2, 3, 4 CALM, and so that's how I breathe. And your breath is the only thing that's with you. I've learned forever.
Yeah.
And so my mantra is with my breath, and that's what I go back to the most.
Okay, I like that. I didn't know you were a painter.
Yeah.
I knew about the guitar. I didn't know about the paint. All right, question number 4. Who or what helps carry the load with you?
It's that Hartner group. My board, the folks that support me peer to peer. We come across a lot of hard stuff, and so being able to share that and not carry it on my own.
Yes,
is
it's part of your built support.
The only way
network.
I can do what I do.
Yeah. Thank you. Question 5. What's something you've had to let go of to protect your well-being?
Perfection.
Perfection.
It's progress over perfection. And I remember Captain Joyce Downer told me when I started the soup program and we were getting little notes of I wasn't doing something. Yes. She said, Jesus doesn't care if the pots are clean. He cares if the people are fed. Oh, progress over perfection.
That's so good.
Right?
That's so good. Can you say that again?
So Jesus doesn't care if the pots are clean. He cares if the people are fed.
If the people are fed.
So let's move past what our little, annoyances is here and there with Sarah's scrubbing pots, because obviously she doesn't do that very well. But I feed people, and we try to feed people, and that's what we focus on. So progress over perfection.
Right, and that's probably where a bigger impact is.
We hope so. We hope so.
Yeah, that's great. I love that. That's another sticker I think we should create. Alex, can we make that? Can we make that on Canva?
Yeah, you can make anything.
I was like, yeah, I can do that. Got it done now. Number 6. How do you create space for others without losing yourself, Sarah?
I have to sometimes let go of some of that training we have.
Oh, yes?
Because we have to be human, right?
We have to be
Sometimes
human.
I have to cry with, or I have to feel anger with.
Anger with. True.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so letting go. That's a good point.
You have to be human.
Well, it touches on that. Yes, we all like to learn, but sometimes you do have to do a bit of unlearning to open it up. Would you agree or no?
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
100%. I'm unlearning my way of landscape design because I'm learning food forest. I'm unlearning, some of the stigmas and things we are attached to in our world. And reading, audiobook reading.
Still reading.
So that's helped with some of my learnings. I have to stay current, and I like to learn. So
I like to learn. So there's progress and resilience. Okay, here's question 7. Our last one. And I really like asking people this. If you could tell your younger self one thing about responsibility or resilience, what would it be?
Well, this thing that I'm still trying to learn about being enough, that would be good. If I could have told her that a long time ago and, enjoy the peace and space that you're in right now instead of always yearning for the next thing, because I still do that. So I'm always learning the things.
The being present part.
The being present.
Yeah. I like that. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
There's a lot of wisdom in those answers. If today's conversation resonated with you, remember this. You don't have to earn your worth by carrying everything. You were never meant to. Maybe today you can put something down. Ask for help. Take a breath. Be resilient people as they don't carry life alone. I want to thank Sarah for her time today. I want to thank Alex for producing again. This is the Joy and Resilience Practice, helping you thrive one story at a time. stay rooted in joy, and keep rising in resilience. Maybe nourishment isn't only about what we eat. Maybe nourishment is also who we sit beside, who checks in, and who invites us over. We'll see you next time on the next episode.